Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Langston Richardson on the line. He's founder and CEO over at Lifejoin. Langston, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. Great to be here.
Oh, man, so excited about today's episode. So we're going to talk about what you're doing over at Lifejoin and your mission behind the company. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
Yeah, I was originally a graphic designer who really had a combination of a knack of being able to create great designs, user experience, and then able to talk about them to a business that they really got it and got them excited. So that really launched my career in a lot of advertising. And then that eventually evolved into the digital realm where building applications. And I worked at, to make it really condensed, between startups, agencies, consultancies. I've grown in my career leading and growing teams. And then ultimately I got with a startup that really helped build up, to help create HR-focused software, and really fell in love with it. And that led me to really thinking about what I wanted to do from a value standpoint of giving back to people and really making software that really matters for people. And so it led me into creating the business where I'm working at now.
Man, that's awesome. And I think that's a great transition. So let's just dive right into Lifejoin. I mean, first off, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Lifejoin is a startup of several of my friends and I. A lot of them we're more or less still with stealth. We're looking to launch in the next 6 months. We've got a few pilots with a lot of different companies. Ultimately, our mission is we're dedicated to the research and development of technologies that harmonize relationships between humanity and technology. And when really focus a lot on looking at tools of artificial intelligence, machine learning, to really create tools that really augment humanity versus looking at a lot of the fear around AI is how those tools replace jobs and really disenfranchise people. So we look to figure out, since it's a human-made tool, how can we use the tool to integrate into how humans already work, and then create tools and services that really augment how we already work and make us work better. And so around that will push out towards any industry, and we see not only opportunity around the world, but also through a lot of different communities, especially with the new remote working and the new normal that's affecting us all.
Man, that's great. So what's your overall vision for the company? So I know you're in stealth mode. I know I know it's all about creating the plans going forward. I mean, what's your thought process? Like, what would be the best case scenario for this going forward?
The best case scenarios is to create 2 tiers of tools. One is helping organizations hire and grow skill sets in their companies. So a lot of the challenges a lot of companies have is finding the right type of employees. How do you get dynamic, talented individuals within your company that will help augment the skill sets you currently have? So that's one focus of our company. Second focus is what we kind of alluded to earlier, is really looking at human beings and people as they grow throughout their professional career. How can we create a platform that allows them to grow and augment their skills and value in the workplace? And we use AI to take what we consider qualitative data that a human being has, the things, your emotionals, your feels, your background, and then really create algorithms that allow for companies and employers to really match together in a really powerful way. And it goes even beyond just the worker-employer standpoint. And actually, we're looking at tools to help entrepreneurs be able to focus and take data and really create really actionable plans out of that.
So in doing this, I mean, what have you found some of the pain points are in this hiring process for the people you work with? Because you've been in this space for a long time and you're addressing some big issues. What do you find are some of those common pain points that maybe even people don't even know they have?
Yeah, so that's a very great question. One of the key pain points is really finding the right skill set for a particular job skill. So if you're looking at especially someone maybe looking for an accountant within the area, and a lot of times companies will just blindly post those jobs out in the marketplace. And then also maybe that accounting is maybe specific industry. And so what a company will be able to do with our solutions is to be able to not only take in applicants and understand their strengths and aptitudes from can they do the job just from the job description. We'll be able to analyze potential hiring candidate to see their aptitude to learn, how the aptitude for flexibility, where do they work best at, whether do they need structure, do they need interaction, or they're kind of more of think of those personality tests that are out there. We'll be able to really quantify all of the understanding of that employee so that companies can really chart the growth of the evolution of that employee throughout the company's throughout their lifetime in the company. So the tool is part onboarding, also part growth system that allows for companies to create a very cohesive and very valuable workforce. And again, the complementary tool for the person who is doing the job seeker is that they're able to have a software solution that's mobile or any voice even, that allows for them to really structure their professional lives in a way that will grow their value at their work, to be able to learn and really create a value growth in their career so that they can start off as a student and then grow to a senior position. They grow to a manager's and even higher types of positions. So that's really our vision of the pain points that we see across the board. And then ultimately, too, we've also seen a big point in data that we'll be able to offer. So from the AI back end, we have a lot of different services that allows for statisticians and people who look at economic impact that be able to really look at the impact of these types of solutions in terms of growing a population skill sets to be able to solve people who are socially, economically disenfranchised, and then to be able to take them to a higher class. And so we're really had some real good traction across the public sector, some private sector HR groups, and really excited about it.
So a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listen to this. I mean, what are the right types of businesses and or organizations that you feel would be a good fit typically for Lifejoin?
We're looking at we would call the small to medium sized businesses as well as enterprise because they're really the SMBs are looking to really make the right types of hires and to grow the right type of cultures within their organization. And the larger enterprise solutions, they're really dealing with a lot of different employees that could really get lost in terms of the details of the thousands of employees that they hire and then tracking throughout their career within the company. So our solution really looks to combine the best of applicant tracking systems and an HR platform that really builds a really cohesive system from the lifetime of that employee, as well as tools that allow you to group teams and manage team performance.
Fantastic. So Langston, if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about working with you and your team over at Lifejoin, I mean, what's the best way for them to reach out and get more info?
They could go to our website at lifejoin.ai, as well as connect to us on our LinkedIn page, which is lifejoinfound.ai, as well as reach me and my name is Lang Richardson, at least on LinkedIn. That's how I spell it, and you can reach me there, and then we could set you up with, giving you overview, more concise overview, some of the pilots we're working with, and we love to have feedback. That's really the most important thing at the stage we're in, because we're learning so much about the real needs of companies, and I think that's be a great thing to show people what we are excited about.
Fantastic. Well, Langston, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about all the great things that you're doing over at Lifejoin. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this from our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Langston, thanks again for coming on the show.
Great, Adam. Appreciate it. I enjoyed myself.